What is up, guys? It is John. I'm back with another director's cut. And this, I've got to say, is probably right on top of my favorite videos I've ever filmed. Getting to explore my mom's abandoned elementary school with her was pretty amazing. She shared some stories I never heard. We had such a good time. And this was very early on in my YouTube, and it was fun. It's the first time she got to experience what I do, what I have a passion for. And this was a school she attended, an elementary school. It's a very small, very, very small school in a very small town in Harlan County, Kentucky. It's called Cranks Elementary. She was telling me first here of a story. Where a woman tried to kill the principal and he got into the corner by that chimney and she ran her car into the side of the building to try to kill him. She was mad about something to do with her child, and I was just like, wow, that's pretty incredible. But on another note, one thing I decided to do is completely remove the audio from the video itself, because as I've listened to some of the past ones and kind of rewatched them, it kind of puts a weird effect in because you hear me talking underneath myself. So if you haven't seen the original version of this, please, the link is in the description below and it'll pop up in your top right corner as well. Where I'm pointing at used to be a basketball court, and they didn't have a gymnasium at this school. They had to play outside. I mean, they had organized school basketball here, but their games were played outdoors, which was pretty cool. I thought it was pretty neat. My mom was a pretty good basketball player back in the day. But, we got permission to come here and explore this. And, when we go inside, and she shared some really awesome stories. It was pretty great. Of course, I was a mama's boy growing up, so I love my mom. And here we go. We're fixing to go inside this place, and I just remember her reaction when we walk in those doors was pretty amazing, because she hadn't been in this building since she was a little kid, and back in the '70s when she went to school here. Her reaction was priceless. It was sad. She was sad, but then a lot of nostalgia came through and got to relive some memories. And I got to experience that, which was a really special moment for me, getting to experience that with my mom. And, we had such a good time. And that's why I say this is probably one of my most favorite videos I've ever done. And, I'm a pretty big boy and she's a small woman. A lot of people go, well, how in the world did you come from her? I don't know, but I did. And, she's telling me stories about being in class here, and she told me where she got her first kiss at. She showed me that area, and I was just like, wow, this is amazing. This school closed in the 90s, early, I think 92 or 97. I can't remember. But I really do encourage you to go watch the original video if you haven't seen it. It's just such a good moment. And this was my first camera too. Not bad, I don't guess. It's an old red camera. See, there's 92. That was last year that they had class here was 1992. So it's been 27 years now since they've had class. That just takes me back. Those stickers, man. That's my childhood. That's my childhood right there. But I think this is where I can't remember. You have to go back and watch the original video. There was so much cool stuff about that she told me. I think this is where she said her first kiss was in another room. But she shared so many awesome stories here. And it's kind of cool watching this over again. You can just see the look in her face, like she's really enjoyed being able to tell me some of her childhood stories from this place. And you get in a place like this when you've not been there in so long, it dredges up memories. Like it reminds you of what it was like as a child. And this was much like my elementary school when I was growing up. You had one classroom you stayed in all day. You didn't move. It wasn't until middle school, till sixth grade, until I started moving classes. One teacher taught all subjects in elementary school. And it was that way for mom, and it was that way for me, at least until the sixth grade. Sixth grade, it was, then you start, you go to this, history teacher for an hour or two, and then you go to the science teacher for an hour or two, and so on and so forth. Or shall I say social studies. But yeah, this was pretty amazing. But the story she tells here was so funny. She's talking about a girl named Louise that was as big around as she was tall, and she was on lookout. And one of them was holding the door, and the teacher, they was smoking. They'd sneak into the boiler room here and smoke. And the teachers were trying to bust them, and Louise held the door while they escaped, I believe. You have to watch the video and see. It was pretty darn funny. But yeah, it's so nostalgic. This is early on in my YouTube too when I did this video, and I'm so glad I did. I didn't even do it justice either. But with that being said, I'm glad it happened when it did, and the way we did everything. My mom's a pretty wonderful person, and this is her telling me the story. Yeah, that's her saying she's about big as round. She was tall. So, but yeah, this is so awesome. She was so fun to hang out with. I need to take my mom on more explorers. I really do. She seemed to have a good time that day. She wouldn't go in some of the places, but this one she couldn't resist. We had permission for one, and this is where she said she got her first kiss. I'm pretty sure. This was the girls' bathroom. But yeah. It's still, though, in a way, it's really sad to see the state in which this place is in. Granted, you don't see a lot of vandalism. It's decaying. It's falling apart. It's messy. And I've never seen or played that game before. If you've played that game, let me know down below. Let me know what it's like, if it's fun. But, the individual acquired the property. I believe it might have been in their family when the school closed, it turned back over to them, something like that. So this individual owns it and just kind of never really does anything with it. You can see now somebody has destroyed that bathroom. And, urinal trough. Had no privacy when you had to go pee. And then looking out the window there. Beautiful Kentucky mountains, I tell you. Kentucky is a beautiful state. It really is. It's that, then stuff like that, like seeing the stuff still painted on the walls from when the kids was there. So that would have been the front door. This is where the bus would have dropped the kids off. They would have come flooding in. And you can tell like that door, that wall is kind of added up later on. It used to just be open. Why they built that, I have no idea. And here's another classroom. And for some reason, it's got these weird grouped up chairs. But yeah, I mean, and then too, look at the chalkboards. Isn't that cool? That's something that's not been in schools since the early 90s. And I don't know if y'all remember, but I remember In my elementary school, we had a chalkboard that had like the lines were like on the paper. It had like that, and it had examples of cursive writing and normal writing, non-cursive. I can't remember, what do you call that? Whoa, I haven't thought about that in years. What do you call that when you don't write in cursive? Somebody comment and let me know. I can't remember, but it had examples of all that on the board of how you do each letter, and it had lines on the board so you can practice on the chalkboard like you were writing on a piece of paper, and it showed you how, which parts of the letters drop below the line and what stayed above the line and all that. So yeah, this right here was, I guess, the cafeteria because that's a hood. And I guess they converted one of the classrooms into a cafeteria, which you don't think, they used to, the schools didn't have cafeterias or anything. They just, I don't know how I guess, had like an exterior kitchen or something. They just bring food in. I know my first elementary school I was in did not have a cafeteria. They had a kitchen, and would leave class and go to the kitchen and get our food on a tray and go back to the classroom. And when lunch was over, we'd all take our trays and our trash back to the kitchen and drop it off. It's like a little room you had to line up in the hallway and circle around. And the name of that school was Verda. It was in Kentucky as well. And the school's closed down. They used the building for something else now, but that school's closed down. And my computer is not supposed to notify anything, but it is. So, sorry about that. That's becoming a staple in these director's cuts. I think, yeah, those people had a rebel flag or something flying there. But I can't remember which one of these rooms Mom was, each year you'd move to a different room. So she was in pretty much all of them. She was in here kindergarten through 8th grade. So, different times back in those days. I wish, sometimes it'd be cool to go back in time and just see how life was. I mean, I remember, in the 90s, it was so much different than it is now. Even in the early 2000s, I mean, it's just, there's no sense of connection with people anymore. It's just everything's digital. Even relationships. I mean, even how you meet people, no one ever meets outside of the internet anymore, which is really a bummer. I mean, I've actually had people I used to be friends with, and I try to have conversations with them, and all they can say is, well, just check out my Facebook and you'll see. There's no storytelling anymore. There's no community. It's just, I kind of hate this world we're in. I mean, I do. I live off the internet, so I mean, I appreciate it. Internet's a great thing, but I just feel like people's lost their sense of connection with other people, and I think it's going to be our doom. It's going to be what tears this world apart. But there's always that creepy chair sitting in the middle of the floor. But this video's nearing the end, guys. I want to say I really appreciate your viewership. I really appreciate you watching these videos. Let me know. Let me know what you think. I took the audio off of this video because I really feel like it took away, because it's just had this weird, audio behind it. You can hear me talking underneath myself, and it was just weird. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching, and you guys have a great day.